As the environmentalist, Baba Diyam wisely said, in the end, we will conserve only what we love. We will love only what we understand, and we will understand only what we are taught. Today, we gather merely not for a book launch, but to celebrate Goa's rich natural heritage through the pages of a remarkable publication, Wonders of Goa, authored by one of the most passionate environmental crusaders and chroniclers, Shri Rajendra Kerkar. On behalf of Green Ray Foundation, I extend a heartfelt welcome to each one of you. To begin this special evening, may I have the honor of inviting our distinguished dignitaries to the dais. I request Shri Tommasino Cardozo, Managing Trustee of Green Ray Foundation, to escort our dignitaries to the stage. I call upon Dr. Pradeep Sarmakadam, Member Secretary, Goa State Biodiversity Board, and the chief guest for today's function. Please give him a big round of applause. We would also like to welcome Shri Victor Hugo Gomes, affectionately known as Goa's Museum Man and a tireless promoter of Goa's heritage. A big round of applause to Shri Rajendra Kerkar, noted environmentalist, researcher, and author of Wonders of Goa, the man of the day today. To deliver the opening remarks and formally welcome the gathering, I now invite Sir Tommasino Cardozo, Managing Trustee of Green Ray Foundation, to give the opening remarks.
Green Ray Foundation considers this one of the best functions because we are publishing a book for the first time. We have done throughout our Green Ray Foundation life, which started in 1990, the founder of which was late Mrs. Maria Claudiata Pinto, who is no more with us. Today, after so many years, we are going into publication of books. Throughout the period that we have worked to create environment about to create awareness about the environment, and our method of doing it is through the schools and colleges. So we target the students of the school, teachers of the school, similarly the students of the colleges, and the main aim is to organize activities which are related to environment, mostly on the days which are earmarked for as environment days. We organize competitions among the schools. We have organized eco clubs in many of the schools in Goa, and from this year we have also decided to select a green school, and which the result of which is not yet published. It is in the process. And besides this, as now we have come to publish the book, we think of publishing at least one book every year, but the book should be related to environment. Today's book, I'm not going to tell anything much about it, but Natural Wonders of Goa by distinguished Rajendra Kerkar, we have priced it very low. It's a good quality book, price is less, so that maximum people should take the book and read it. Besides, we are going to give that book as a complimentary copy to all the schools and colleges of the state of Goa. And we are not simply giving it, although of course we are not going to take money, but we will be conducting quiz contest based on the content of this book. 50% of the questions will be from this book, remaining 50% will be general on environment. So we feel very proud because a documentation is coming for the first time from Green Ray Foundation.
To share insights into life, work, and contribution of Sri Rajendra Kerkar, I invite Sri Praveen Sabnesar to address the gathering.
In the late 90s and early 2000s, it was very easy to recognize who were inspired and influenced by Rajendra Kerkar, young people. And I used to say, this person must be inspired and influenced by Rajendra Kerkar. So somebody asked me, why? Because they talk like him? So I used to say, no. Then they used to ask whether because they are knowledgeable like him? I used to say, no. And they used to ask me why? I said, because they live like him. And what is this life that I am referring to? It is a life of being able to see biodiversity where there is none. So it could be a concrete patch, and there this man can see biodiversity. He can see it everywhere. He can listen and assimilate and collect information, a lot of it which has come in this book and in earlier books by him. But the most important thing is that he lives the life that he preaches. He walks the talk that he gives. And that is not only something that he has done by himself, he has inspired and influenced an entire generation, or many generations I would say, of young people who are as committed like him, and they are committed because he is their lighthouse. The entire purpose of the book, when we were thinking of coming out of the book, the first name we all thought of was his. Because whatever he has, like when you look at the book, you will realize there are contributions in terms of photographs and things by all this huge tribe or his extended family who are living the same passion like him of dedicating their life for environment in terms of the way they live and the way they pursue it with purpose. He has been a teacher, he has been a researcher, he has been a speaker, he has been a writer, and most importantly, he does this with flair. When he presents, he could easily burst into a folk song, he could talk about a rural idiom, he could talk about something very contemporary, and he could move around all this, and that's what makes him very attractive for very young children to very knowledgeable adults who would find it very interesting to listen to him or to read what he has written. He writes regularly in various newspapers, magazines, websites. His writings are easily available on the internet. But most importantly, I would like to end by this, that if you travel around India and the world and you meet people who have a keen interest in environment, the chances are very, very high, above 99%, that they will know this man. He's the most famous green environmentalist from Goa, all over the world, Rajendra Kerkar. Please welcome him with applause.
Thank you, Praveen sir.
It is a privilege and pleasure to be here this evening for the launch of the book Natural Wonders of Goa by my friend Mr. Rajendra Kerkar. Most people know Goa through its beaches, monuments, festivals, and hospitality and casinos. But beyond the familiar lies another Goa, a quieter, older, and more mysterious Goa. A Goa of sacred groves ancient trees, hidden caves, bubbling springs, wetlands, forests, and wildlife. A Goa where every hill, river, lake, and forest carries a story waiting to be discovered. Natural Wonders of Goa invites us to rediscover that world. Through 38 fascinating chapters, Rajendra Kerkar takes us on a remarkable journey into the ecological soul of Goa, from descriptions about the state bird, flame-throated bulbul, state butterfly, Malabar tree nymph, to Satari's rich asset of Bivgo and Nimgo Gune as unique geological formations, from traditional agriculture, Kazan landscapes, to wetlands like Nanda Lake and various protected forests, sacred groves. This book reveals a side of Goa that many of us have overlooked, at one that is vital to identity and survival. The Handi Kuris, also known as Cross of the Sluice Gate, located in Maina Kurturi in the south, as described by Rajendra, is a vital symbol of Goa's natural cultural heritage. The cross sits by the sluice gates of local lakes and marks the community's ancestral knowledge of blocking water channels to conserve water for a second paddy harvest. The community feast, celebrated annually as the Shetkaranche Fest, highlights a deeply rooted respect for nature. The rituals double as a community blessing over local irrigation work and biodiversity. During the feast, farmers and devotees mark vows and pray the rosary by tying knots in coconut or palm leaves. This unique practice preserves oral traditions and community bonding. The cross represents the deep historical integration of traditional agriculture, local ecology, and faith through community practices.
The world is looking at OECM, which many of you may know, other effective measures for conservation. This is like declaring a sanctuary, declaring a heritage site. This is something new, it has come. And 3-4 years I have been hearing and I didn't like it. I said, wait, very informal way of conserving, no notification. But world over it is happening. And when this came to India, I was on a committee who was making the guidelines for declaring OECMs. And interestingly, I found that this is covering those areas which cannot become sanctuaries, which cannot be declared as heritage sites, because people are residing. Like we have notified many wetlands and many people are still opposing. 10 are still in the cold storage, in the sense they are waiting to go for final notification. Tremendous opposition to notify. Because people feel that you will take away my wetland. This is the fear. My plot is there, which is not wrong also. But how do we find a golden median? The problem is bigger. So that is why perhaps all over the world they say that you don't notify, you don't do. Then I said we already had this, we called it sacred grove. We are not notified it. People is to conserve. But so when we talk of destruction, my last 2 points, I'll finish in 3 minutes. Last 2 points. Whenever we talk that destruction is happening, hill cutting is happening, this is fact. But I try to go to the root cause, and nature is, the surroundings are changing because morphology is changing, climate is changing, infrastructure is changing, the construction material is changing. We have better substitutes for laterite, which is fly ash, and I don't know whether that fly ash is made from some hazardous waste which might have emissions, and after 10 years we discover there is something called as SBS, sick building syndrome, which comes out of, I'm looking at architect because this is come 10 years later. So whenever a new supplier comes, I ask them, do you have a life cycle certificate? And they say no. Some technology comes in a lab, you do miracle in a test tube and a conical flask, you want me to adapt it for a bigger ecosystem. It needs total entire different thing. It is not easy, I am telling. So any discovery we get excited, we have to be also cautious. So my 2-3 points which I had, one is creating, convincing conservation narrative is what I think Rajan Bhai has done. Whenever we think of OECM, this is something new has come, I was talking about it. It is a provision wherein those communities have been also notified as OECM. but not notified, recognized, designated as OECM, and they have started conserving this. This is a very informal way of conserving, but I am not convinced, because this is a bigger forum I am putting these things, whether in spite of having legal conditions in place we are violating, whether we will follow volunteer. I remembered the library of Sane Guruji, where he had kept books free in the library, saying that people will read and keep it back. Neither books were there, no cupboard was there, nothing was there. Finally everything was stolen. We also tried this for, open garden, herbal garden, and I found that with pots everything got disappeared. So unless we have ethical society, moral society, we are morally responsible for not stealing the plant from the garden, from the median, from the roadside. I don't think we can blame others that somebody has sold the land, some project has come, and same fellow you go to see all plastic, all these things happening. So I think it is very important that the behavioral change happens. I am confident environmental change. So let us try to find some way, and let us read these books, and let us enrich ourselves. Let us protect. Tomorrow is a World Environment Day. The theme is also excellent, preserving, nurturing nature for change in climate and for future generations. Let us remind every year ourselves. Let us every day remind ourselves about our environmental duties. And thank you very much for having me here. It's an honor for me to be present for this. Thank you.
2 and 1. Let us celebrate this wonderful achievement with a huge round of applause. Thank you. Thank you for being such great audience today. Friends, every book has a story behind its creation, and every author has a journey that inspires countless readers. We have just witnessed the launch of this wonderful book, and that beautifully captures the rich biodiversity, natural heritage, and hidden treasures of our beloved state Goa. The man behind this remarkable work has dedicated years of his life to exploring, documenting, and advocating for the conservation of Goa's natural wonders. It is now my great pleasure to invite the author of the Natural Wonders of Goa, the renowned environmentalist and nature educator, Mr. Rajendra Kerkar, to address the gathering and share his insights on Goa's natural heritage and the inspiration behind this publication. Over to you, sir.
Very happy that on the occasion one day before of the World Environment Days, this book launch is taking place. So here I have made the attempt to present before you glimpses of Goa's unknown geological, hydrological, the engineering skill of the tribal people, about the aspect, for example, Government of India identified and notified Nanda Lake as a 75th Ramsar site wetland. But if you look at ask the Google about the Nanda Lake, you will find little information that is provided by GSBB, but no one is aware about what is the importance associated with this area. When I first visited this area a quarter century ago, I was very much fascinated to see the Pandava Talap inside this area, and people were telling me the story that the Pandavas from the Mahabharata, they stayed here. And then you find a book that is published in Portuguese period, which mention about the Nanda Lake is in Kakoda. No much information was there. So here in this book, I made attempt to provide you the mythological, the cultural, the hydrological aspect of this water body. Then, if you read the writing of A.R. Gokul in the Gazetteer of Goa, edited by Dr. V.T. Gune, you have the mentions about the limestone existing from Wangini to Hivrekurda. No much information. And then when I made my attempt to understand all this, I started my journey from Wangini and then gone through the jungle, reached the Hivrekurda. I remember Vedant was a small boy. I was taking him along with the dedicated youth. I got opportunity to discover, decipher all these areas. For example, if you visit the Nimgo Guno or the Bhugo Guno, for example, Bhugo Guno is considered as a stick used by Bhima. What is it? It is a wonderful thing. For example, no one is aware that Ananta Sinai Dhumi in his book, he mentioned that whatever Western Ghat you today see was totally under the water of the ocean. And now what is the concrete evidence of all this? Then you have the limestone. For example, limestone boulders, Rouge boulder, if you look at it, you will feel that you are not in Goa. And I remember when I started the movement and when I met the Lieutenant General Jacob in 1998, and then on the June 1999, he notified the Mahadai and Netravi Wildlife Sanctuary. The main reason why I want this sanctuary, and I was legally supported by Dr. Cloud Alvarez, and because of that, the government want to denotify some areas. In spite of notification from 1999, you can see till 2003, 40 minings were illegally functioning there. So when we brought to the notice of the CAC, P.V. Jayakrishnan, who was the chairman, then the Jivrajika passed the order that not even grass should be lifted. Because of that order, today you can see the limestones are there, because many miners, they made attempt to destroy all this heritage. And the survey was made, and poor people who were not aware about it, they thought that they will get the money, they will get the job, they will get the job of the foreman. So that is why they wanted that the mining should start in this region. But today, because of this notification, you can see not only the limestones are protected, not only you can see wonderful caves. And Goan people, especially people from the southern part of India, going to the Andaman and Nicobar, then going to the Meghalaya to see the caves. I am not going there because I want to discover all these things in my land. And then when I saw for the first time Wagachi Pet in Satray, I was enthralled, because here you can see, if you visit it, you will find the footprint of the prehistoric man. You will find how the human being residing in this, and there is a feeling that the stone does not grow, but you have stalagmite, stalactite that grows, and you can see this wonder in this such a wonderful view. The Mahadai Valley, for example, you will not find on any part of the world such a wonderful land. In 1935, the Paul Betts, along with the bullock cart, he visited 12 caves are there. One cave at Talewadi was housing the rotten free-tail bats. And this was the cave where the Mesolithic stone tools were procured by the Dharwad archaeologists. So whole region, if you see, you will find the onward march of the prehistoric man. The prehistoric man is believed to migrated from the Ghataprabha, Malaprabha region, and then he reached in the Dudhsagar. So if you look at the Dudhsagar, Dudhsagar is not only considered as a body of the water. The two rivulets, for example, today Goan are getting because of the legal notification of the Karnataka government. They identified, they protected Kali Tiger Reserve, and because of this Kali Tiger Reserve, today you can see the Katla and Payana, they joined together and they tumbled down from the height of 310 meters, and you can see the wonderful ocean of the milk. And this ocean of milk is not only considered by the people as a water body, so they consider it as a holy unseen spirit. So I have mentioned the stories associated with the Dudhsagar, then why this Dudhsagar is important for Goa. So all these unknown facets which were not documented anywhere in Goa, so humble attempt has been made by me. I am not a zoologist, I am not a science student. So forgive me if I have done any mistake. But why I have written this book? Because whatever I have written, that became the part of the heritage of the people. For example, when the people in Sulla visually approach us, they were telling me, your mining list is there of the big mining company. I told them, don't make noise. Got it, no? Try to document everything, and then they approached the Goa State Biodiversity Board. They declared it as a first natural heritage site of the Goa, the biodiversity heritage site of the Goa. If you look at it, you will find it is active mining lease. So because the people came, people associated, there are hundreds of stories about that sacred growth. Got it, no? So people from the Cancun, people from various part of Maharashtra, people from various region came and they sheltered in this region only because of the water. So today if you go there, the Sihacho Ban that was installed by the people is no more there, water becoming paucity. So unless and until you associate the local people with their faith, with their tradition, for example, when Govinda Shirodkar, my good friend and officer in art and culture, approached me, I told him, first do the study. And he done the excellent study, and he garnered the support, and legally and scientifically Toyar Lake wetland was protected. The same bone well, for example, if you visit the bone well was totally on the verge of extinction, but because of the Arturo, you can see it was revived, it was protected. So all these areas which were connected with the local people, with their culture, so I have made attempt. For example, if you visit Dudhsagar river, you will find wonderful rock there. People call it as a Tirtha Panto. So I then asked the people, why this Tirtha Panto? They told me Kale was facing the water problem, and water from Dudhsagar river is taken to Kale. The Kale is totally different river basin. It is a Kale river basin, a part of the Mandavi river basin, and Dudhsagar flows in other direction. So the tribal people, the forest dwellers, they designed such a mechanism, that the water from Tirtha Panto of Dudhsagar was taken to Kale. And today if you go there, you will find the lady for whom the tribal brought this water. She was told by the father that you don't look back. So she looked back, and then suddenly she became the stone. And you will find she, along with the son, is worshipped by the tribal people. So many fascinating things are there. For example, I have mentioned about the balancing rock. People in a large number going to Tamil Nadu to see the balancing rock. They don't know that the balancing rocks are there in Goa. For example, one mining people wanted to start the crusher there. So everything now stopped because of the protection accorded. So my simple attempt is to protect legally and also culturally. So that is why if you visit the Bati area, in Bati you will find 3 places. One is Suryagad, then second one is Barazad, and third one is the Talavli. Talavli not of Funda. So these 3 areas if you visit, you will find when dinosaurs were living, so such type of the forest of 140 million is there in Goa. What is not there in other part of the world? For example, Semicarpus catholicanensis, highest population you will find in Azobachi Tadi, the sacred grove of Brahmakarma. So there is lot to be discovered. For example, just few days back, I was attacked by almost 50 leeches. But I never told my volunteer that I was attacked by the leeches, and my whole body was oozing with the blood. Painful experience was there, but we continued because we want to measure the height of the second highest mountain peak of Goa, because everywhere it was mentioned the hill second highest is not actually second highest. So recently we proved it, 891 Auchitgarh. Nowhere you will find the reference of the Auchitgarh in Goa. So it is the second highest mountain peak. So even after compiling this, my mission is already there. We want to document all this heritage, and you people should read it, got it. Now, whatever mistakes you can bring to my notice, I have already mentioned that I am not a scholar, I am not a scientist, I am an ordinary man. So whatever I like, I have written it, and whatever I have written, I have discussed with the geologists, discussed with so many people, and I have revealed my knowledge through this book. I say good thanks to Pradeep Sabnis, Praveen Sabnis, who contacted me first, then Sir Tomasino Cardoz, you know, the man who already completed his 18 theatres, politician. So when he requested me, I cannot say no, because I know his dedication to this land. His wife and he both are dedicated and very devoted personality.
Model themselves from Rajendra Kerkar. Sanish Aukhale. Shubhada Chari. The preview will have seen us a small Anaga. Please come up.